right. Welcome back to another episode of Can You Connect? This is Mr. Walk That Walk. And this episode, we'll be working on, discussing adulting, self care, and marriage. So, first is going to be, we're going to get into it with talking about couples adjusting to being married and understanding each other more intimately, like, building a connection, improving the connection either mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, and learning how to live in the same space. You're living together for the first time. So that's a big step. Because at times we think that we really, you know, sometimes that person is showing who they are. So it makes it easy to live in a space with somebody. But if that person is maybe holding back who they are and maybe what they're going through, then you may not know who they are until you live with them because it's kind of hard to hide it when you're with that person 24/7. The mask will fall off. And in that moment, it's up to the couple to make adjustments and try to be understanding and try to, you know, be patient with each other and try to really grasp like what they're going through and what could be helpful so their relationship could continue to flourish. I'll get in more into that, but I think that's a main part of like the space, being in the same space and improving communication because communication is number one, like it's key to everything in a marriage, in a relationship. Um, those are important things. And then kids are involved. So now you're raising kids with which, at times, if there's not a good schedule, and even if there's a good schedule, at times it could be hard on your self-care, it could be hard on your social life, it could be stressful at times, you know, and it could potentially affect a marriage, if you don't really take time out for yourself. And it could cause disagreements because you're raising children with your partner. And at times y'all can have disagreements on where the money should go, how should you pay for certain things with your kids? Like, what things you want to get them and what do they need and what do they want? So that could be an argument. Disciplining, whether to discipline or not discipline or how to discipline, that could be a disagreement. Religion could be a disagreement. Culture, especially if two people are coming from different cultures, those could bring up two different, those could bring up disagreements in the marriage. So those are important to think about. And those are important to have those discussions, maybe even before marriage, so that so y'all could brainstorm how y'all would like things to be in the future. And having kids could sometimes affect the marriage either negatively, if you're not prepared to have kids, if you don't have time for your kids, and if you're not patient with them, if you don't have the time to be patient with them, it could affect the marriage negatively. On the other end, it could be positive if the kids were planned. If there's a support systems are important with raising kids. If you have help along the way and have some guidance. So those are things could be helpful towards the marriage and towards the couples. Working on balancing their life Because if you're able to balance, then it's easier to heal. Like it's easier to work through things. But if you're trying to control your life and control everything in your life, then that can add on more stress because some things are out of our control. A lot is in our control, but some things are not in our control. And we have to be able to accept certain things and be able to try to balance them so that we're not overstressing ourselves or over worrying about certain things. Because sometimes when things don't go our way, that could make us upset and that can make us unhappy. And then through that unhappiness, we treat other people bad, you know, our partner, our kids, because if we don't feel good about ourselves, how do we treat other people right? How do we take the time for other people? So I think that's definitely important. And couples usually, try new things out and are able to flourish, if they're working together and communicating. And even when the kids leave, if the couple took time out to work on the marriage and improve the marriage while the kids were there, it's able to improve while the kids leave. When the kids leave and it's just y'all two. But if you don't take the time out for the marriage to work on it, it could be surprising. It could be a shocker when the kids leave because now it's like then what? Now it's like, oh, I actually talk to you. So it's important to be open to doing new things and trying new things out to make those improvements. And y'all can do it. So that will definitely bring yeah, that'll be the ending of this episode. Of course, we're gonna go over the main stuff. Of course, we're supporting Black women, supporting them. And yeah, like whoever they date or whoever Black women date, don't get on them about who they date. If somebody wasn't checking out for them and if somebody else did, then we can't be mad about that. Whatever Black women want to do, we should support them. You know, if it's interracial dating and they find somebody outside the race, that's okay. As long as they don't hate themselves, then that's different than just you just happen to find somebody from a different race that, found you attractive. Same goes for Black men, you know. But for the most part, it's Black men who are some that are, maybe not treating Black women well when they do date outside the race. And Black men have been doing that. So who are we to judge some of us when some of us have been doing it? So please just allow Black women to just live their best life. And Black men, we gotta stay in our lane. We're just here to support, protect, not cause a divide. So please think about using your words wisely. Are your words helping or is it hurting? So that's how I would implore, that's how I suggest Black men to think about when we're hear something that maybe we don't like and we're about to say something that may not be helpful. So it's just something to think about. But I believe in us, and I believe in Black love as well. I'm in support of that. You know, a lot of us are in, a lot of us in are together. So a lot more of us are together than not together. So that's definitely awesome. And of course, if we're talking about Black people, of course, we're talking about supporting Black businesses, of course. So this one is going to be a restaurant that I've been to before. It's in Baltimore. It's called the Land of Kush. It's a vegan restaurant, and it was pretty awesome. So I enjoyed it. I know y'all will enjoy it. Um, and I'll put everything in the description. And of course, you know what else is going to be in the description. If you're interested in couples therapy or individual therapy, I could do that in the state of Maryland. And interested in working on certain habits that are preventing you from being successful, I could do that around the US. So my email will be in the description, and I'll put more info in there as well as we go along. So that is it for tonight, and we'll check back in next week. And y'all have a good rest of the day.
All right, till this summer. Our homes are homes, they feel empty. Our dreams are dreams, slowly shattered. And our body needs a bruising matter. What does it take to become a legend? What can we do to teach a lesson? Is there a way for a future commitment? Oh, why do we wait to repaint the world? When the world loses color, it's our goal to paint the night. Yeah, yeah. When the world loses color, it's our goal to